Do your legs feel weaker than before? Do you have pain that comes out of nowhere, cramps at night, or difficulty climbing stairs? Many people believe that this is part of aging. But what if I told you that the cause could be something you take every day, thinking you are taking care of your health? Yes, two very common vitamins considered beneficial could be sabotaging your muscle strength and compromising your mobility silently. And how you can act right now to protect your legs, your autonomy, and your quality of life. In this video, we will reveal what these vitamins are, what science says about them. If you are over 60, this content can transform the way you age. Like the video, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to the channel Longevity Journey. Your health starts with information. Gradually, many people over 60 begin to notice that something has changed in their legs. Less strength, more pain, and even difficulty maintaining balance. Substances that once seemed beneficial may now be having the opposite effect. Metabolism changes after the age of 60. And what helped us when we were young can now overload our organs, muscles, and nerves. And most alarmingly, these dangerous vitamins are easily found in pharmacies, supermarkets, and even in common multivitamins. Well-intentioned people consume them without knowing the long-term damage they can cause. This needs to be discussed more responsibly. We don't want to scare you, but rather prevent damage and help you live with more strength, balance, and independence. Don't accept pain and weakness as fate. You can and should age healthily, and avoiding these two vitamins could be the first step. Now that you've been warned, let's look at the signs your body may already be sending you. Although this also has an influence, there are other factors at play. If you used to walk for 30 minutes with ease and now feel heavy and exhausted after just a few blocks, pay attention. This drop in muscle performance may be related to the way your body is metabolizing certain vitamins. And what's worse, you may be contributing to it without even knowing it. Some substances consumed on a daily basis may be directly interfering with the functioning of muscles and nerves. The problem arises when we believe that more is better. This logic doesn't apply to the mature body. The intention is good, but the effect can be disastrous. Over time, this accumulation affects the functioning of organs and can trigger neuromuscular symptoms such as weakness, leg pain, and cramps. What the body tolerated at 30 may cause negative reactions at 70. This means that even small doses considered safe can, over time, trigger adverse effects. The risk is greater when there is self-medication, prolonged use, and lack of professional supervision. And you continue taking them, thinking they are doing your body good. Supplements that are not properly dosed or taken unnecessarily can build up in the body. This can happen even at doses that many people consider safe. And certain vitamins, when taken in excess, have toxic effects, especially on muscles and peripheral nerves. And many supplements have exactly that amount or more. As we age, our metabolism slows down, absorption changes, and our liver can no longer filter out excess vitamins as it once could. In other words, taking 50 times that amount every day is like flooding your nervous system with stimuli it can't handle. What used to be protection becomes overload. Although essential for the functioning of the nervous system and energy metabolism, when consumed in excess, especially in isolated or multivitamin supplements, it can cause a paradoxical effect. Instead of strengthening, it weakens. These are not normal. They indicate mineral imbalance, excessive muscle stimulation, or even intoxication due to excess supplements. You need to look at your personal history, laboratory tests, and most importantly, listen to what your body is telling you. Now that you understand how dangerous excess can be, it is time to reveal what the first vitamin could be weakening your legs, even without you realizing it. Involuntary tremors are neuromuscular signals that require attention. It's not just weakness, it's a warning sign. And often, a simple adjustment to a supplement can make all the difference. But to understand what's behind it, we need to talk about the role of vitamins. Feeling pain when resting, especially in the calf, is a classic sign that something in your peripheral nervous system is not working as it should, and the cause may be internal. Therefore, ignoring these symptoms or letting them go can make the problem worse. Yes, even vitamins can become villains. When you understand what's affecting your muscles, you can take informed action and regain your strength. It's not about stopping everything, but about making smarter, evidence-based choices and listening to your own body. Pain that appears when getting out of bed, the feeling that the legs don't obey as before, or persistent cramps during the night. These signs are like the body trying to say, something is wrong. And it is precisely at this stage that many ignore the symptoms, delaying preventive action even further. The power to preserve your health is in your hands. If walking to the supermarket was once simple, now it requires effort, breaks, and even help. All of this has an emotional cost, the loss of freedom. What starts as a subtle discomfort can, in a few months, become a real limitation. Unfortunately, many accept this as a natural part of aging. You slowly lose mobility, feel cramps at night or muscle pain after light walks, and you don't know what's causing it. When you finally seek help, your body has already lost a significant amount of its strength and stability. This loss of autonomy can mean falls, fractures, and even unnecessary hospitalizations. And all this because you trust in natural things. But this mindset can be dangerous. Accepting discomfort as normal delays the diagnosis of real problems that affect mobility and independence. It's not just age, there's something more behind this loss of strength. One of the biggest mistakes people make at this stage of life is blindly trusting supplements and vitamins without understanding how their bodies are really reacting to them. The most worrying thing is that this negative impact can happen silently. The supplement industry makes billions promising vitality, but rarely warns about the risks of taking too much. Many campaigns are focused on selling, not educating. The good news is that identifying early warning signs and adjusting what you eat can completely change this scenario. In this video, we'll open your eyes to this invisible risk. With the alarm going off, many people start to remember discomforts that seemed unexplainable. It is not uncommon to see people avoiding walking or climbing stairs for fear of falling. This insecurity grows silently and compromises autonomy. Furthermore, there is a very common misconception, associating these signs only with age or lack of exercise. One of the most insidious signs is leg fatigue, even after short periods of activity. Another important symptom is the presence of frequent night cramps. If you've also noticed that your legs shake at certain times, such as when climbing stairs or getting up from a chair, take it seriously. Let ease now understand how something as apparently beneficial as vitamins can turn into a silent problem after the age of 60. For most of our lives, we've been taught that vitamins are essential for health, and that's true. It is common for many people to resort to multivitamins on their own, without medical advice, when they notice symptoms such as fatigue or pain. It is worth remembering that not all vitamins are easily eliminated through urine. Some are fat-soluble, meaning they accumulate in adipose tissue and the liver. Another important point is that, after the age of 60, sensitivity to micronutrients increases. Therefore, understanding what each vitamin does in the body is essential. It is not enough to follow fads or generic recommendations. We will now reveal the first vitamin that, in excess, could be harming your legs and your autonomy. The vitamin that tops this list is vitamin B6 pyridoxine. Too much B6 can cause a condition called peripheral neuropathy, and the first symptoms appear in the legs. This neuropathy manifests as numbness, tingling, cramps, and muscle weakness, usually starting in the feet and moving up the legs. The scariest part? Studies show that doses above 100 milligrams per day, when used for weeks or months, significantly increase this risk. The human body only needs about 1.7 milligram of B6 per day after the age of 60. The result is a disorganization in the transmission of nerve impulses. The muscles do not respond as they should, and the legs lose strength. Over time, this causes insecurity when walking and increases the risk of falls. Women are even more sensitive to these effects, especially when they combine B6 supplementation with other energy or memory compounds. And since the symptoms are vague and gradual, few suspect the true cause. This seemingly harmless excess begins to rob us of strength, balance, and even self-confidence to leave the house. If you're taking anything with more than 10 milligrams of B6 per day, it's time to talk to your doctor. But this is not the only culprit. There is another vitamin, even more present in our daily lives, that can also be compromising your muscle strength. That's why it's important to check the labels on your supplements. Correcting this excess can reverse some of the symptoms and prevent permanent damage. Unlike vitamin C, which the body easily eliminates, excess D builds up in adipose tissue and can reach toxic levels. Vitamin D toxicity, known as hypervitaminosis D, is more common than you might think, especially among older adults who take supplements daily without supervision. Perfect. Now let us reveal the second vitamin that could be silently affecting your muscle health, and it is even more common than you might think. But like everything in life, balance is the key. Vitamin D, when used without control, can cause excess calcium in the blood, and this directly interferes with muscles, joints, and the cardiovascular system. The result? Pain, cramps, and even stiffness in the legs. We are talking about vitamin D. Yes, the same one that many consider miraculous for bones and immunity. The human body is sensitive and complex, especially after 60. Therefore, more than ever, the use of supplements must be personalized, careful, and with monitoring. This means that prevention is the best strategy. Once neuromuscular damage sets in, it can take a long time to reverse, and in some cases, it may be irreversible. The problem is that vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning it builds up in the body. Now that you understand the risks, let's move on to practical actions. How to protect your legs, your strength, and your mobility from now on safely and wisely. If you rate taking more than 10 milligrams of vitamin B6 per day, or more than 1,000 IU of vitamin D without supervision, it's time to adjust. Short walks, resistance exercises with resistance bands, and stretching are all extremely effective. And vegetables provide the vitamins your body needs in a balanced and bioavailable form. Water helps flush out toxins, regulates neuromuscular function, and improves nutrient absorption. But there is still one important step: avoiding the most common mistakes that continue to harm those who try to take care of themselves, but fail due to lack of guidance. Let's talk about them now. Drink throughout the day, even if you don't feel thirsty. Your body will thank you, especially your legs. Avoiding ultra-processed foods and prioritizing real food also reduces the need for artificial supplements. A colorful plate is the best multivitamin there is. Movement is a natural stimulus that preserves muscles, improves circulation, and even helps balance the body's hormone and nutritional levels. You don't need a gym, just regularity. Take this information to your doctor and discuss whether you really need to continue taking these products, but which end up, without realizing it, sabotaging their own strength and mobility. What works for one person may cause imbalances in another. Constant cramps, leg pain, tingling, or weakness are not normal. They are warning signs. Unfortunately, many people simply take another supplement or increase the dose of what they are already taking. This only makes the problem worse. Listening to your body, seeking medical advice, and making conscious adjustments is the safest way to go. Following fads or taking what everyone else is taking is a dangerous shortcut that can have the opposite effect. Information is power, but it needs to come from reliable sources. In addition, the excess calcium generated can be deposited in your joints, causing pain similar to arthritis, and in your kidneys, favoring the formation of stones. This is a problem that starts out small and silent, but can have major consequences. Ask your doctor to run blood tests to check your levels of vitamin D, B6, calcium, and other essential nutrients. This eliminates guesswork and allows for decisions based on real data. There is no substitute for clinical judgment combined with information. Knowing what is in excess is just as important as knowing what is lacking. This toxicity directly affects muscle function. You may experience frequent cramps, a feeling of heaviness in your legs, and even stiff joints. Many women over 60 take vitamin D based on old recommendations without testing to check the actual levels in their blood. But the body only needs about 600 to 800 IU per day, and some supplements contain as much as 5,000 or even 10,000 IU per capsule. This dosage over the course of several weeks can affect the functioning of the entire neuromuscular system. If you're already experiencing symptoms such as leg pain, cramps, weakness, or stiffness, it's worth checking your vitamin D levels with a simple blood test. Most importantly, never take supplements on your own, even if they seem natural or vital. Too much can do much more harm than a deficiency, now that you know the two vitamins that could be sabotaging your leg strength. Let's look at what the science really says about it, and why so many health professionals are sounding the alarm about supplement overuse after 60. Recent research shows that indiscriminate supplement consumption is on the rise, especially among adults over 60. Another study conducted in Sweden involving more than 2,000 elderly women found that those who took high doses of vitamin B6 had nearly twice the rate of peripheral neuropathy compared to those who did not take supplements. Symptoms included tingling, loss of strength in the legs, and unsteadiness when walking. It's a clear warning that not everything that comes in capsules is safe in any quantity. Regarding vitamin D, studies indicate that levels above 100 ng or mol in the blood can lead to hypercalcemia, excess calcium that affects muscles and joints. The most common symptoms are cramps, fatigue, pain in the lower limbs, and even mental confusion. In prolonged cases, there may be calcification in organs and an increased risk of falls, exactly the opposite of what is desired when taking the supplement. Science also reinforces that the ideal is to achieve adequate nutrient levels based on tests and professional guidance, not on assumptions or recommendations from friends or advertisements. Another important point that the studies highlight is that the toxic effects of these vitamins can take months to disappear, even after discontinuation. Based on this evidence, it's clear that the decision to supplement should be made with responsibility and knowledge. The first step is to have a complete checkup focusing on vitamins and minerals. Second, review all the supplements you're taking. Check the labels on multivitamins, single-serve capsules, and even fortified foods. Third, strengthen your legs with regular, light exercise. Fourth, invest in a diet rich in real nutrients. Green leaves, seeds, fish, eggs, fruits. Fifth, stay hydrated. It sounds simple, but dehydration is one of the most common causes of muscle cramps and pain in older adults. By taking these simple and conscious steps, you will be protecting your muscle strength naturally and safely. Perfect. Now, let ease address the most common mistakes that many people make when trying to take care of their health, One of the most common mistakes is to rely solely on advice from friends or neighbors about which vitamins to take. Every body is unique. Another serious mistake is not listening to your body's signals. The rush for results also leads many people to take high doses, thinking that they will resolve things faster. This is a dangerous myth. The body needs balance, not overload. Excess vitamins may seem like a precaution, but they are actually an aggression. The wisdom lies in nourishing with precision, not in overdoing it on impulse. You are not only taking care of your legs, but also your freedom, your autonomy, and your quality of life. Now, to close this video, we will reinforce the main points and show you how to apply all of this in a simple way in your daily life. Another common mistake is to completely abandon supplements out of fear, without an alternative plan. The problem is not in supplementing, but in doing so without criteria. Correcting these habits can restore your strength and confidence as you walk, climb stairs, or simply live more freely. There are times when supplementation is necessary. Yes, especially in cases of real deficiency. And remember, longevity is not just about living longer, but about living well with autonomy, balance, and strength. Therefore, the ideal is to adjust and not simply eliminate. Balance will always be the safest path. Are you taking any of these vitamins? Let's share your experiences. We also cannot forget the importance of regular monitoring. Many people start taking supplements and never have tests again. Avoiding self-medication, reviewing your supplements, and prioritizing a rich and balanced diet are simple but powerful steps. The ideal is to review the dosages and repeat the tests at least once a year. We've seen that symptoms like pain, cramps, tremors, and weakness shouldn't be ignored. Excess B6 can cause neuropathy, while high doses of vitamin D can cause stiffness, cramps, and even overload the kidneys. But most importantly, these effects can be avoided with information and attitude. They're warning signs that something in your body is out of balance. This allows for fine adjustments and prevents dangerous accumulations. Health after 60 requires vigilance, but it doesn't have to be complicated, just conscious. Correcting these common mistakes already puts you way ahead of most people. Throughout this video, you've learned that two popular vitamins B6 and D can be damaging your leg strength when taken in excess. We understand that after the age of 60, metabolism changes, and what was once beneficial can become a risk. You've learned how to identify your body's signals, the importance of exams and medical advice, and how to adjust your routine to protect your mobility. We also looked at common mistakes like trusting fads, ignoring symptoms, or taking unnecessary high doses. Now, the decision is in your hands. Take care of yourself consciously. Respect your body's signals. If this video helped you, like it right now, share it with someone who needs this information and subscribe to the channel Longevity Journey. Tell us in the comments, have you ever had symptoms like cramps or leg pain? Knowledge is longevity. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next video.